All right, so I would like to call this meeting to order. So welcome commissioners and all those that are joining us this afternoon. I'm Dr. Hall, the Assistant Chair of the ERC. I would like to first start the meeting by getting a motion to approve last month's meeting.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 October minutes are approved. Thank you for those commissioners. So I'd like to first call up, we have the FJ Zatola Construction, if we can get started on that contract. Just a reminder, we are here to hear about your good faith effort in bringing MWBEs to the project. So if you can just take us through that, and then we will continue through the process. And who do we have with us this morning for the FJ Zatola contract?
I'm here. I'm Reagan Thompson from Frank Zatola Construction. I'm the estimator.
Good morning, good afternoon, Reagan. Please proceed. Just tell us
Okay.
about your good faith effort.
Well, basically, the project in general is labor intensive. But what I did was I considered the minority firms that we typically do use on our city projects and with our substantial PWSA projects. And I reached out to them and I received utilization through supply of materials with concrete, because the scope of work that we are doing on this job as the prime is the concrete sidewalks, restoring the concrete sidewalks. The project in general is excavating at intersections, right where the handicap ramp is, putting in new electrical for new pedestrian crossing buttons, all to meet the ADA standards, and then building a new concrete curb ramp for two reasons. One, because we've just cut through it, and two, it gets them up to the new standards. So there's two basic pieces of work on this, and one is the electrical. We have a subcontract, power contracting through that, and they have about a third of the contract is actually theirs. So of the 3 million, $1 million is the subcontract, and the other 2 million is our work with restoring the concrete. So in that, since I don't have a lot of different materials to purchase myself, but I have concrete itself. So Pittsburgh Mobile Concrete is the only concrete supplier I know that we use, and they're actually a manufacturer themselves. So they bring out their own ready mix truck. And so I reached out to them, and they're thrilled about it. So we plan on using them for the concrete supply for the sidewalks. All right. Then also, since we will be excavating, that's all our own crews doing the excavating work, but we have to take away the soil and the old sidewalk, the concrete. So I have Big Liotti Landscape and Construction, and they are a WBE, and they'll be providing the trucking. So we will dig and we'll put it into their trucks, and they take it away. And so those plus the granite curb, downtown has a significant amount of granite curb. Those plus the granite curb are the portions that we are doing ourselves. Now, I also have, actually the granite curb is the manufacturer representative is also a WBE. And so that's an additional substantial portion of the work. That's the Poverty Ridge out of Melbourne, PA and their amounts to $333,000. So that's all the supply of the granite curb. So aside from those things, I didn't really have anything else to look at for myself. I'm doing concrete sidewalk, I'm doing curbs, I'm taking away the old stuff. So I contacted the people that I could use for each of those, and I was successful in getting a minority participation for all of those parts that were mine. Then the other was, of course, the electrical contractor, and they are getting the it's called the traffic signal support, the 15-foot poles basically, and they are getting those through Weatherspoon and Williams, and that is a WBE local here. And so that was the participation that they were able to offer to me for their portion of the work. Otherwise, it's just a very high labor and equipment intensive project because it's so slow. We work on one corner, like one quadrant at a time, because otherwise it's a problem for pedestrians to be able to cross and get through. So we're going all day to dig up one little bit of conduit and replace it and to do one ramp. So it's just it's labor intensive because it's so inefficient working downtown and maintaining traffic and pedestrians.
Thank
And
you,
so,
Reagan.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Commissioners, I'd like to open it up to see if any commissioners have any questions. No questions from the commissioners? Well, Reagan, we appreciate that because your numbers look pretty good in the participation, both MBE and WB. We really appreciate the work that you've done to make sure that both are involved in your project.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Hearing no questions from the commissioners, I don't have any more questions or comments. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Dr. Cushman.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sarah. All in favor, commissioners, to approve the motion, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approves. Thank you again, Reagan.
All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Thanks.
Okay, Chuck, if we can move on to the next.
Yes, the next one is the police promotion testing.
Okay, thank you. And who do we have on the call for the police promotional testing?
Hello, my name is Chad Legel. I'm with IO Solutions.
Hi, Chad. Welcome to the ERC Commissioners meeting. Can you take us through not so much the project, but really the outreach that you were able to garner for this police promotional testing?
Yeah, absolutely. So a significant portion of the project involves bringing in outside assessors to help evaluate police candidates in the promotional process. So we looked through available MBE, WBE firms that we could partner with to find individuals that could help with site coordination and travel arrangements for all those individuals that we're going to bring in who are police professionals from other cities around the country. So because a significant portion of the value of the project was centered around those costs, we looked for partners who could help with things like travel agents and people to help make those sorts of arrangements. So we were able to find both an MBE firm and a WBE firm that could assist in that regard, helping to secure sites, helping to make travel bookings for the assessors that we're going to bring in to be evaluators, and helping to coordinate other things like the hotel arrangements for them. So we were ultimately looking for firms that were probably in the classification of travel agencies, things like that. We didn't necessarily find much in that specific area, but we found some event planner firms that we vetted and some that were in that space enough that they were willing to help us in this capacity. So it wasn't necessarily their primary function, but it was a good merger of our needs and their capabilities. So we were able to find an MBE and a WBE that could help us in that avenue.
Okay, thank you, Chad. Commissioners, want to open it up for you first? Any comments, questions, concerns?
Commissioner, if I can ask a question, with regard to local companies, I see you have one company, WBE from Canonsburg. Were there any MBEs in Pittsburgh that could have assisted? Did they not apply to the bid?
We didn't find any who were located in Pittsburgh proper who were firms that were able to help in this particular capacity. We were somewhat limited in terms of the availability in a highly secure, high stakes testing environment and ways that we could bring people in. This was one of the ways that we could bring firms in, but we didn't find any located in Pittsburgh who could help in this way.
How about any in Pennsylvania?
Bear with me a second. I'm actually looking through the list of the firms that we reached out to. I believe that we reached out to one who was in Pennsylvania, but they weren't able to provide, or whether they weren't able to or didn't want to provide these services, we weren't able to connect with one in Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you.
Chad, well, let me ask commissioners, any other questions, comments? Any other commissioners? Okay, so let me ask Chad, the ones you talked about in Pennsylvania, were they certified?
Bear with me a moment. I'm actually trying to find the list of the individuals that we connected with. We had a particularly difficult time finding certified MBEs and WBEs who could do travel arrangement. There was just limited pool to pick from. Ultimately, even the two firms that we connected with were not agencies that specialize in making travel arrangements. So we ultimately settled on two firms that were both willing to do it and able to do it based on their experience. But we really had quite a difficult time finding anybody to help in this capacity.
Okay, thank you. Hearing no other questions or comments from the commissioners, can we get a motion to approve?
So moved. This is Monica.
Thank you, Commissioner. Second,
I'll second.
Cushman.
thank you, Commissioner Cushman. All in favor, can we get an aye or a hand raised, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners. Motion is approved. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay,
Chuck,
we're on.
if we can get the next one. Thank
Yes.
you. Before I even
This
ask.
The next one is the installation service of emergency vehicle exhaust systems. This is a public works one, and this one is a little bit different because it has federal FEMA funding involved with it also. Okay, so I'll turn it over to who's ever here to talk about it, but all of that money was not available to sub out.
Okay, who do we have on the
Okay.
call for this contract, please?
Hi, my name is Claire Master-Baradino. I'm a senior project manager with the Department of Public Works.
Welcome,
who is
Claire.
responsible- Thank you. Thank you all for having me. Yeah, so this was kind of an unusual type of thing, which is usual for me. Because we had an assistance to firefighter grant for this through FEMA, we were not allowed to specify which equipment we were going to use for emergency exhaust, and there's many. We could specify like a direct source capture, which is what we use in our fire stations. So this was just for our emergency medical services stations. So in doing that, we had 3 proposals come in. One was a WBE, one was a veteran owned, and one was nothing. And unfortunately, the women owned, we had gone out to ask references from some architectural firms who are specific to public safety. They did not come back with a very good reference for that particular type. It was a very low bid, and they weren't willing to do some of the things that we needed them to do. And they had no experience with historic buildings, which is a very important portion of this. So we had to discount them. We went with the veterans. And so when we put the application in through the EORC, Chuck came back and said that we really should have some participation. This is like a one-stop shop. They'd have the product is theirs. It's Plymouth's product. It's warranted, so they have certified installers that have to put it in order for the warranty. So the only thing that we really had left was the electrical services. And we've worked with Emerald Electrical before on many projects, and we like them. So we asked if they could go back and see if they could contract with them. So Emerald has agreed to do it. And they just got the signed letters today. So we will be doing MBE participation with Emerald Electric for this project. It's an interesting breakdown. The total, it did raise the cost of the contract, but not by like $40,000, so it wasn't that bad. The total cost now of the project is $654,272.40. 57% of that is just product. So the rest is installation, bonds, and a contingency. So the federal match portion is 90%. So of the total contract, 654,272, $64,823, and that can't possibly be right. $65,427.24 is the 10% city match. So if you go from just the city match portion, then it's a little bit more. It's the electrical is about a 10% participation match. If that makes any sense.
Thank
If you just do it on like installation costs and not the actual product, then it's more like a 22%.
Okay, thank you, Claire. Commissioners, comments, questions, concerns on those? Okay, I don't hear any.
I'd like to thank Claire for really doing her due diligence on this, because her and I have been working on this, and to get 10% of that amount is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
There you
Claire,
go.
because I spoke with Chuck and he did mention you were able to find 10% of MBE. So we definitely appreciate your due diligence in coming today with at least 10% of scope of work. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, can we get a motion to approve this contract, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Myers. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Kramer, thank you. Commissioners, all in favor, can we get a hand or an eye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners. Motion approves. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claire. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, we're going to give two quick reports. I'll do mine first real fast. As you notice today, we didn't have a 21-11-01 because we passed 2011-01 at the beginning of the month with that email vote that we did. You guys remember? It was like 47% MBE, WMBE. Well, what's going to happen with that is I've asked the prime to come next month to give a brief overview of what we voted for. Okay, so that was a very good plan. At 47% of 16 million is pretty good. So they'll come next month and give us a quick overview of that. Right now, I'm gonna turn it over to Upasna for the ITQ update.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Hope you're all doing well. So just an update on the recent ITQ work orders. We've had three DOMI plans, out of which two are change orders. So the first one that you see here is Project Management Traffic and Planning Assistance. This is a change order. It has the original project cost was 76,833. They've added another 36,000, a little over 36,000. They have the same sub SP Thomas, which is a WB, and it's the amount apportioned to the WBs. It's 100% participation, so the entire amount is going to go to the WBE. Then there is this next plan is Medic 4 parcel consolidation plan. I won't get into the details because this is just for 3,000. The next one is a DOMI plan. It's a Porto Street slide remediation. The prime here is Ground Technology, and the project cost is 60,140. It has three subs. Terra Testing is a veteran-owned business. Then we have Geotechnics, which is not an MWBE, and CAG Engineering, which is a WBE. And we have these amounts apportioned among the three. So to over a little over 12,000 goes to the veteran-owned, and 3,500 goes to the WBE here. Then we have the next one is this plan is the Northside Public Safety Station design. The AE7 is the prime, and this has 8 subs. And out of the 8 subs here, we have 1 MBE, 2 WBEs, and 1 veteran-owned business. And I will just share, this is the project cost is 375,000. Out of which the prime will get about a little over 70,000, and the rest is distributed among the MWBEs, the other sub-consultants. So the MBE will get a little over 66,000. Then there is Cypher, which is a WBE, which will get about 18,848. Veteran-owned will get 12,980. And then another WBE, Allegheny Global Environmental, will get 3,000, little over 3,000. So this is a DPW project. And there's one more change order. The contract name was Active Mobility Improvement Homewood Neighborhood. They've added, original project cost was 80,497. They've added another 80,000, and now the project cost is 161,000. And they've added 2 more subs now. So that makes 3 WBEs and 1 MBE on the project. The MBE will get 8,001, and the 3 WBEs together get 24,333. So that's the update on the ITQ work orders. There was just one more thing that I wanted to update you on. Sometime back, the commission had passed 23 IT companies for ITQ work orders. So now the procurement has awarded a little over 60, I think 63 contracts to those companies, and they need to improve some of their participation, some of them. So we will be holding a meeting and basically explaining the process and what the commission requires of them in terms of certification and improved participation. So we'll keep you updated on that.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Posner. Okay, guys, and then we just have one more thing that I'd like to talk about, and that's next month's meeting on the 16th. We'd like to have a little holiday celebration after the meeting. Can I get you guys to let me know who will be coming in person to? I've already reserved the IKEA room in the mayor's office, which is a pretty nice sized room. Okay, yeah. You guys want to, let's do this. Let's adjourn the meeting, Dr. Hall, and everybody stay on, and then we'll talk about that. How's that?
Great idea. Commissioners, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, commissioners, for